So what kind of reactions have you gotten professionally? Because obviously you have a TV production, post-production, distribution.
Yeah, so I have a production company called int'l Entertainment, and we're pretty prolific, and I think we're well liked around town. I think we, look, people know me. They know I'm Jewish. They know that I'm outspoken about the things that I believe in. They know I'm passionate, etc. And I think people respect that across the board. Look, the people who know me support me. And the people who don't support me probably won't say they don't support me anyway, so you'll never know that they don't support me. So I think that, is there a lot of sort of blank space and stares and silence on social media? I post things, I don't really get the responses that I would like. I definitely don't get the support I would like. I mean, this event alone, I've probably sent to, plenty of industry people. I mean, they're not going to come, so I don't necessarily think it's because they don't agree with me. I don't think it's necessarily because they don't support me. I think it's because there's a very, very clear divide for them in their minds between what I do at work and what I do at home. And I think that that doesn't work anymore because the line has become blurred. And for me, the issue is so deep and personal. And I have family in Israel, who are sleeping with guns under their pillows, etc. It is personal, and I can't make that distinction anymore between work and home. I make films, I make TV shows because I believe in the things I'm making. So if I believe in the things I'm making, then I have to support those things and support the ideas that I believe in. So they kind of are inextricable. Hello.
On a related note, how open are the TV networks around the world, the cable networks, for instance? How open are they to? That it comes down to the question?
They are not open. They do not want Jewish stories.
Or Zionistic stories?
Oh, no.
Or
Dirty word.
counter jihad?
Zionist is a dirty word.
Jihad is affecting everyone.
Jihad is a very sensitive term around here because it implies Islamophobia. So, and look, there's a mosque down the street. They're lovely people. I mean, I think we told them about this. There's plenty of people, there's plenty of Muslims who will support us. I don't think that's, that being said, there's definitely certainly an overcorrection because I think Muslims are considered people of color and Jews aren't. Jews are considered white, colonialists. So obviously it's all gotten lumped together. And
but Israelis more than half North African, Middle Eastern.
Right. So I know. I mean, I'm aware. I just don't think people want to hear it. And it's when you're coming from, I think specifically in Israel, I think they're coming from a position of power, and and the other side's seeing it as an underdog. So it's an underdog story. And that's what, it's ironic that it's an underdog story because Jews are the inherent underdog. And if I think people looked at the numbers and the geography, which they just don't fundamentally understand, that underdog story would obviously be flipped. But look, I very strongly feel that, we've been vilified. So it's a hard thing to work your way out of. Once you're put in that box, it's a really hard thing, I think, to come out of, especially through these Middle Eastern programs and universities that have, already sort of taught, even as far back when I was in college, they were already teaching us Edward Said and a lot of these guys who were, they're anti-Semites. So we could call them whatever we want, but, the words don't lie and the text doesn't lie. And I think they think of Jews as being folks who don't belong in Israel anywhere, anytime. So,
how good a job do you think Israel is doing at managing its public relations, public diplomacy?
I know. They've always been bad at it. I mean, Israel's, from as long as I can remember, I'm only 46, but as long as I can remember, I always remember, even at a young age, saying, what the hell is wrong with this PR department? Because they don't kowtow to the media, they don't kowtow to the public. They're really bad at it. I mean, honestly, I really think so much could be shaped and helped by a really strong, PR plan,
Or is it already too far gone in terms of the journalists and what the news editors are expecting?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little late. I mean, I'm sure if you've read, plenty about, like, the social media efforts by, I think by the sort of, I guess, sort of Muslim superpowers or whatever you want to call them, Arab countries. This is a long time in progress. This is not a new idea. It's impressive. I mean, the community has really, on that side, has really created a social media environment that is, it's really strong, and I just don't think Jews are very good at yelling from the rooftops. We're just not. That's not what we do. So hopefully, I think this is a little bit of like, okay, well, maybe there's another generation that maybe can yell from the rooftops, or maybe there's a way forward. Maybe we do need to speak out a little bit more. And I know, look, we'll always be accused of being overly aggressive and, all those things, the way that Israel is always accused of being overly aggressive for having an army. And, I always tell people it's the IDF, defense, it's about defense. Uh-huh. And people sort of look at me like I'm nuts. But I don't know, it's so tough. And it's so unfair to be in a position where I'm standing here now having this conversation with you, where I have to sort of defend our efforts to want to bring these hostages home, and somehow it gets politicized and turned into, this conversation about why the world looks at us the way that they look at it. I don't even want to. I'm at the point where honestly I'm so fed up, and I was raised very liberal, and consider myself very well educated. I'm not a black and white person. I don't think the world is black and white, but this is a black and white issue. I have no doubt. So. You
mean jihad against the world?
No, what I mean is bringing the hostages home. Jihad, I don't know. I don't know where the jihad sort of piece ends up. Because it has nothing. Jihad is not about just Jews.
No, exactly. Yeah,
it's about the West. So
sure.
Has it been? I think people are very, very. I don't think we're well educated in Islam or Islamic culture at all, and so as a result, we just want to sort of assume the best, which is, I think, we hope that there's people out there in those communities who want to have great lives and want to build family and want to build community and don't want to kill us, and that's, we all cling to that, and so that's the hope. And it's just really, really tough because of the indoctrination. The indoctrination has just gotten so out of control. It doesn't feel like a tiny faction of people. It feels like a mass movement, and I wish it wasn't.